Good morning, my friends. Today it's Tuesday and I'm getting ready for work. Yesterday I spoke about the new Chanel, the little quads from the Rouge Noir, and it's specifically in the colors brown, what was it called? Still need my glasses. This one is called Brown Rose, and the other one is called Gris Rose, so grey rose. I think it's lavender, which I of course love and adore. But I have way too many eyeshadows, so of course I probably have some dupes. So I've brought out some of my favorite ones that I think are quite close. I haven't tested them together, so I might be dreaming, but I'm going to try that for you. But first I need to put on my makeup because I need to get to work. So today I will be using my very much loved It Cosmetics CC-cream Illuminate, I think this one is called. This one, unfortunately, you can't, yes, Illumination. You used to be able to get these in Sweden, but they stopped carrying them. I don't know why, because they're brilliant, especially for people with mature skin and that needs a little extra glow, like me. These ones actually are best applied by the fingers, I find. So I do like this to warm it up, and then I just apply it. You can of course use a brush. I mean, they have the It Cosmetics brush, I'm sure that's fine, but to me I find that it actually melts into the skin a bit more, so it does get a little bit better, I wouldn't say coverage, but it just feels more skin-like. But I mean, I have used it with a sponge, I have used it with many different techniques. I used the brush, I used a little bit of everything. And of course I need make sure that it gets pressed into my old nose piercing, so it doesn't look like I have a hole in the nose, which actually can look worse if I have especially if I have a bit of more covering foundation. It could just look like a huge hole if I don't press it down. I am going to take a little bit more, just to make sure I have some more coverage. I need to take a picture for my new driver's license today. I've been changing my ID card, my passport, made it change to my name. So I need to redo all the IDs. So, and you know, I always love having my photo taken. And especially a driver's license that you're going to use for 10 years. I actually had someone, my old one was 10 years old, so, and I looked quite different back then, so I've actually had a couple of people that were like, is this actually you? Embarrassingly enough, I gained a lot of weight and, well, used to be a lot skinnier. So it's good that I'm having it changed, because maybe I might be able to get my parcels out from the post office without someone questioning my identity. So now we have that on, and the good thing is that it is slightly illuminating. Normally I would have placed something like the Say highlighter primer. I use it as a primer, but I'm sure it's a highlighter. Haven't actually looked. I would have used that underneath, but I don't need that with the Illumination foundation because it's shiny enough. I am, however, going to try the MAC Strobe Cream. I've never tried these, but I think it would be it should go well together with the Chanel Rouge Noir highlighter, because, sorry, the lighting on my last video was a bit weird. It is a slight pinky toned, and I have the pinky toned strobe cream. So I am going to place a little bit of that on my cheeks. Sorry, you can hear my cats. I think she wants to get in on the fun. One day you will see them. I have one sleeping in my bed and the other one is walking around unsatisfied for some reason. I think she's still pissed that the weather is cold. Which of course we are to blame for. There we go. Didn't do very much, but a little bit. Oh, my hair. Oh, my wonky hair. There we go. Just need to. This is an old mitten. I think this one is from Primark. Could be from. We have a shop in Sweden called Normal. Could be from there as well. I don't know. I bought these at both Normal and at Primark. So, I was mentioning yesterday that my absolute favorite Pat McGrath quad is Fleur Fantasia. The quads look like this. I'm not sure they do anymore. They have slightly changed look. I think it just says Pat McGrath now. I have to look around in my newer ones. But this is my favorite. Absolutely love this. This has a slightly more intense purple, but nonetheless, I thought it is quite similar. It's not bang on the same, but it is slightly similar. And if I compare it to the other color, of course, that's satin and the other one is, but you see. So I am going to make a swatch of the Chanel shadows so you can see them next to each other, starting with the Gris Rose. Sorry, my cat is very sad right now. And I'm placing that on my, don't know if it shows up. There we go. Do you see it? And then I am taking some of the brown rose or Brun rose. So that's the Chanel shadows. Biffen. Sorry, she's really angry now. And then we're going to swatch Fleur Fantasia. Oh, I love this one. When they have this little piece of neon, it actually doesn't look quite the same. It's much more warm. I'll show you the cat. Are you misbehaving? This is my cat. Very upset. Sorry about that. And then if I compare it to, this is the beige one. Of course, that's a neutral one or a matte one. It's actually a little bit more red. So these are from the Fleur Fantasia quad, and these are the Chanel's. Still slightly similar. Then I have another quad, Risqué Rose. This was also a limited edition by Pat McGrath. Also had it for years and years. And it looks like that. And this little thingy is also quite similar. And then you have this one. So we are going to see Biffen. Nee. Sorry, she's going to keep doing this. You see this one is actually quite similar to that one. But that one is much more red. Sorry, my arm swatches are really bad. I need to start doing it more on this side, I think. But you do have the same kind of flip on that one, so I think those ones are actually quite similar. And then of course I have the newest Mothership. This is a limited edition packaging. They normally go black, and I can't for the life of me remember what this one is called. Sorry about that. I need to put on my glasses again. Petalmorphosis, and this is Mothership XII. Absolutely beautiful. The thing is, the colors look better in the black packaging, so I kind of wish I bought the black one anyways, but I do like it on my vanity. I really don't like and appreciate the Pat McGrath packaging because they're too heavy. You can't travel with them, and I travel a lot. The shadows that I was considering is first that one, which is quite similar, and then you have that one. So I'm going to test those two as well. Here we go. The purple one is a bit more of like a topper shade, I would say. So we have them. Oh, God, how am I going to show this? There. That was a rubbish placement. Sorry. I'll try and do it again. Do it like that. Gå och lägg dig. Means go to bed in Swedish. Okay, so there we have those two. And if you compare it to those two, that one is still much more red, but that one is quite similar, but this one is a little bit more of a topper. It's more glittery. Yay, she gave up. Happy days. And then of course we need to compare it to my beloved Betty palette. I don't think these are the same at all. It's just a similar vibe. But it is mostly this middle shade that has a slight bluish purplish flip that I think might be a bit similar. But then of course the browner shade there is much more yellow toned, so that's a completely different one. As you can see it there. You have the Lise Eldridge one there, and that's the Chanel, and that's the Chanel and the Lise Eldridge. But those are the ones I think that I have that are most similar to the Chanel shadows. I might have some in my, love these. Oh. The Isamaya palettes. I have core 1 and core 2. Oop. This is core 1. This one has an amazing purple shade. It has that absolute neon flip that I love. Love, love, love. And I must say, they are my most favorite new shadows or palettes for 2025. This is the Isamaya one, and that's the Chanel. So it's not the same, I wouldn't say. Similar, but not the same. So today I'm planning on using the Fleur Fantasia one. And the good thing about the Fleur Fantasia is that you can actually use one of the shades as a blush. I'm not going to do that today though. I tend to use this one quite a bit as a blush because it looks really good on me because I'm so fair. I am going to use the Chanel one and try a different shade. This is the highlighter. Yesterday we tried that one, so I'm going to try this little one here. An old brush. I have no idea where it's from. Probably Sonia G, could be. I bought it in the States at Target probably 12 years ago. This is a nice shade. It's very cool tone. But you can see when I apply a cool tone that I do have a lot of yellow in my skin. So I do have a strange undertone. It is red, but it's yellow. It's peach, kind of fair peach, which makes finding foundations and concealers absolutely horrid. It took years for me to find some that worked. So I'm really happy when I find a working foundation. Going into this little one here. This one actually reminds me of another Pat McGrath highlighter that I have. It's actually placed as an eyeshadow in Mothership XII. That one is even more transparent beneath. Oh, you're back. Sorry about that. She has opinions. I have two incredibly talkative cats, which is fun sometimes. They're the love of my life, but also the bane of my existence. Can't live with them, can't live without them. At least it's not 4 o'clock in the morning and she's decided to go out. There we go. So now I've placed it on top of the strobe cream. So I think it might pop. But I could actually tell yesterday, I had a very long day. I did my makeup at 7 o'clock in the morning. And when I went to bed at around 12, I could still see the highlighter on and still the blush. And I still had some eyeshadow left, which is a win for me. Normally, it would look like a hot mess after that many hours. So I must say, they are good. But of course, Chanel is very much focused on the Asian market, and the Asian market don't appreciate items with a lot of pigment. They like everything very soft and subtle. Something to think about when you purchase Chanel and Dior and things like that. That they are not going to give you the same amount of pigment as if you compare it to like Pat McGrath and makers like that. Still using my primer potion by Urban Decay. Men var tyst. Sorry, I have to get her to keep quiet. She doesn't like it when I film and she doesn't like it. Tyst! She doesn't like it when I film and she doesn't like it when I do Zoom calls. So we call her the Zoom cat, because she just walks around and yells at me. Incredibly angry. So I'm taking the browner shade. She doesn't like it when I ignore her. This is actually a very nice spring look. And my favorite quad for spring. I'm actually thinking that maybe I might get some of the light purple one from the Zamea palette on the inner corner. I love that one. It's almost like neon, but very, very fair, which I think is very cool. and blend, 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 blend. But you can see that this is a quite fair shade and it does have a lot of color payoff. That's what I love about the Petalmorphosis shadows. They are a bit more tricky if you're not used to high pigment eyeshadows, but I love them. Since I've been using makeup forever, I do tend to prefer high pigment ones. When I place something on my eye, I want it to really show up. But you can see that this one almost has like a blue flip. And it's the same with the Maya one. Adore that one. And I'm taking the blue quite high up because one thing, when you have slightly hooded eyes, like I do, you really want to get the lid color a little bit above so it shows up when your eyes are open. Otherwise, if you place all that eyeshadow on the lid and you don't have it above your crease, no one's going to see it unless you look down, and that's nice too, but I want people to be able to see it when I'm looking at them. So I'm placing the bluish purplish shade a little bit above, but you can see that it's a very nice color. Love, 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 love this little palette. I think, however, I am going to use the lighter shade on my inner corner. It is not really light enough for me to use in my inner corner. That's always a problem for me. It works, but if it could have been a few shader lighter, but I mean, then it would probably be too light for 99% of the market that's buying it. So, but this is also a very beautiful color. It's like a golden sandy beige, and it does have somewhat of a pink shift to it. There we go. I'm also going to place a little bit on my brow bone. There we go, and you can see the slight yellow. I'm going to place a little bit more of the pinky shade. So this works out fine on me because it's pink and yellow. So with my weird peachy undertone, it's perfect. There we go. And it looks a little bit more pastel-y on me because all colors look intense, whether I like it or not. Then I'm taking an old BH Cosmetics brush, small one, and I'm doing the same under my eye. I still look a little bit dark around my eyes. I had the MAC Kajal 24-hour wear yesterday, and it is hard to get off. It stays put, so I still have some. That's why I still have some darkness on my lower lashes from that one. Like I said, if it was in the 90s, I would live in that one. Could go straight from the club back to work. I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm quite happy not to be doing that. It was rather fun though. Sorry, I'm looking down. I have to look in the mirror and see where I place it. And I'm making making the weird face. And there we go. I think that's about it. So, Fleur Fantasia, if you have it, use it, and I hope you like it as much as I do. One of my all-time favorites. Would you like me to do my favorite Petalmorphosis palettes? Because I think I have probably 30 of them. I could rank them for you if you'd like. It is, however, quite a lot of them, so probably be a very, very long video. I'm going to use my little MAC 24-hour wear again because I love it. I'm only going to use it on the inner rim, just to make my eyelashes look a little bit more fat. This eye is always more troublesome. There we go. We have a little bit of darkness. Today I'm actually going to try something new. I bought the rum mascaras. I bought the navy blue and the black. They look like this. And they are created by 3 of my absolute favorite social media people. It's Jo Jones. Love her. She has a Instagram account together with Nadine Baggett, which is also another favorite of mine, called The Beauty Hags, which is hilarious and super fun. It's also by Sally Hughes, which I adore. Such an incredible woman, makes the best Instagram content ever. And of course, Sam Chapman. Sam used to have a channel on YouTube called Pixie Woos, together with her sister Nicola. And now they have their own channels, but they are both brilliant, and Sam's makeup looks are divine. But they created Rum Mascara, and they are tubing mascaras, which is really good for me because my mascara tend to get stripy and look ugly on me. So I have navy and black, I think they're called. I haven't actually looked, but I bought a navy and a black. So I'm assuming, yes, navy blue and black. Easy peasy. So I'm actually going to use the navy blue on my bottom lashes and the black one on my top lashes. Whoop. So we'll start with the navy blue. Brushes look like this. It does look more intense in the camera. I'm not sure it's picking up more color. It doesn't look as neon-y blue when I look at it. That's gorgeous. Really nice. Super happy about that. Do tend to get a bit of smudging here because I have long lashes and big eye bags. The joys of life. Eye bags and lashes. Yay. Then we're going in with that black one. I really like the brush. I like quite small brushes, and I like the ones with like the tiny rubbery bristles. you call them bristles. I think they're easier to control, and you can get really into the roots of your lashes, which I really like. Hate it when you get like a little band between the lashes and your flesh. So I really want to get in there. I think this is the one that you have to add a couple of layers. I wouldn't put more layers on a tubing mascara after it dried, because it might be just become weird looking. So I would still use it when it's slightly wet. Over applying on these can otherwise tend to get a bit messy. I'm not sure, I haven't tried, this is the first time I'm trying these mascaras, but I'm guessing it's the same as with all tubing mascaras. And what's good with your tubing mascara, it is that you just use warm water, I think like 37, 38 degrees, and rub it on your eyes and it will just melt away. Well, it does become little dots on your face, but I love this mascara. I mean, it's not a very intense one, but I mean, I've never come across a tubing mascara that is like extremely thickening. That's not why they're made, but this one is very good. I did buy a few tubing mascaras when I went to Japan this summer, and they are really subtle. I mean, you get like spidery, very, very spidery, fluttery, thin lashes. I guess that's the Asian look that they are looking for. I'm not. I want my lashes to show up. But this is a very, I must say, this is probably my favorite tubing mascara. Really happy about that. Of course, the women who created this are fabulous, so I wouldn't expect anything less from them. So there we go. We have dark blue on the under eyes, and we have black on the upper lash line. And then, of course, need to fill in my brows. I'm still sorry about the cold sore, guys. It's dried up. It's just looking horrid. And we are filling in the brows. Now my cat is making funny noises again. Sorry about that. She's the baby. I have the mum and the baby, but she's actually, the mum is a Bengal, so she's crazy in her own ways. So Esmeralda is a Bengal, a very teeny tiny one. And then we have Biffen, which means the beef in Swedish. And she is very large and big boned and slightly fat. And so her mum is a Bengal and her dad was a Norwegian forest cat. So she has like this furry belly, but she has the leopard dots, but she's grey, which we of course adore. She is the sweetest cat ever. Very lazy. She's like the female version of Garfield. She likes food. And when she's outdoors, well, outdoors I would say, because she just literally goes and lies down on the balcony. She doesn't move much at all, whilst her mother, the crazy Bengal, is out being the queen of the universe and threatening all the other cats, of course. She is really the queen of the jungle, or at least queen of our street. And we are all her servants. So I really found it funny when Lisa Eldridge had a shadow called High Maintenance, because I feel you, Lisa. I know the struggle. So, finishing off with an Isamaya gloss. I'm not much of a lipstick person, as I've mentioned before. I have no idea what this one is called. This is the old one with the piercing. Really beautiful. Lip Lac 2.0. Can't really tell. They're making the text tiny. Kind of need like child labor. You need a 6-year-old to tell what it says. I am sorry, it's going to look atrocious with my cold sore. It's just, it has healed. It's just that I'm waiting on the little scab to decide to fall off. That's why I'm using the lip gloss. If it was still active, I wouldn't dare to use anything on it because I don't want to contaminate my product. So, my friends, there we go. I do apologize about Biffen, the cat, being a menace today. It's one of those days. And I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. And please give it a thumbs up if you like it, or give me a comment. And if there's anything you want to see, if you want me to show you all my Pat McGrath or all my Natasha Denona, which I also have a trillion of, or just show you my favorites, please let me know. Have a good one, guys. Bye.